So hold your pencil nice and loosely, and if you keep your edge of your palm, the side of your palm on your paper, it just helps you to give you a little bit of steadiness when you're sketching. So all I'm going to do is to sort of very lightly, I do find it easier to stand up and sketch, so just sort of keep your pencil on the paper and keeping your hand on the paper. We can just very quickly, and don't worry about rubbing things out if they're not quite in the right place. I've not done that big enough there. So begin to block in this house in the foreground. And we've got a little bit of perspective on it, but we're not bothering to try and find vanishing points. We're just looking at it and seeing if it looks right. As I say, keeping the pencil moving, you find it helps. That roof is a bit high. It helps to get it done quickly without, you know, oh, that's not right, I'll rub it out. So just get things looking as if they're in the right place, and then we can tidy it up afterwards. And so if it's a little bit different, it doesn't really matter. So we've got these steps coming down here. We've then got this second row of houses, just looking at where they are in relation to this building. So they start about here, they're angled there, and again we've got these little windows. So it's to get it blocked in, so that then we can check sort of if it's looking okay. We've got an extra bit on here, haven't we? What the perspective is like. If it doesn't look quite right, we can change it before we come in. Would have been best doing it a little bit further over. We can come in and change things before we start putting the ink on. And then we've got these sort of steps here, which is quite a nice way of leading you in. We've got these steps here, and we've got that road there. So probably make it a little bit wider. It looks a little bit short, so we make that a bit wider. So I say you can do these adjustments without having to rub anything out until you are happy with what you've got. So keeping sort of the pencil moving the whole time really. And then you can go in a little bit tighter and begin to draw things in with a little bit more definition once you think you've got it looking about right. Okay, you happy to start on that? Yeah, and say keep your hand on your, or your little finger on the paper, and it just helps to helps your pencil to flow and move quite quickly across the paper. And if it's not quite the same or it's a bit wobbly, it doesn't matter, because that's the style. There's this Ian Fennelly, does lots of work, lots of workshops and things as well. And I think it's appealing because it's nice and bright. It's not your sort of traditional watercolours. Pen, they're a little bit sort of quirky, aren't they? But they are representing buildings. I don't know where this one is actually. Anybody recognise it? Yeah. No. So I say we've got a bit of perspective, so these angles on the house are sort of converging over here, and this one is converging over the other side. So just bear that in mind. So you can use your rubber just to clean things up, or if you've got a few lines that aren't supposed to be there, you can just get rid of those. So we've got this bit of perspective on this house at the front, where the line of the roof and the line of these windows converge down, and then as we come down the house, the lines start going up, like that wall at the front. It's going up. Your eye line, it would probably be about where that second bottom window is, the one that's got the little bit of what's it got above it? What's it called? Well, okay. I'm sure it's got another term, hasn't it? Is it? No, not soffits. What's it called? Like a cowling or something, isn't it? Is it? Oh, I don't know. I'm not an architect. Doesn't matter if you don't get as many windows in, you know, the window panes I should say. Bits of window pane. Lots of small pieces of glass. Are you alright, Stuart? If it all goes wrong, you can always put a tree or a bush in front of something. We're not putting vanishing points in, we're just sort of guessing where they are. The things get smaller as they go away from you, so the quietest you've been all term. They're old houses, so they're not going to be completely straight. It's like this exactly what's going on with the steps, so we'll just have to improvise on that. But when you're happy with your sketching, we're going to start going in with our waterproof pen, not too heavy. We don't want a big thick black line around everything, but it's probably easier to start with the darker areas, and just, as I say, don't be too precious or too neat with it. We're going to start adding some ink. It helps to add the detail, because if we just went in with watercolour it'd be quite tricky. And obviously you can then rub out all your pencil lines. And with your windows, if you put your crossbars in pencil, then we can just go around those and do the little squares in between. Well, I think I've added an extra row into mine. What's the scariest film anybody's watched, as we're talking about Halloween? Any films that you sort of watched and you wished you hadn't? No?
Sing along with the clown.
No, clowns. It's what is it? Pennywise. It's, yeah.
That freaks me out.
Steve. A lot of people don't like clowns. I don't know whether it's after Stephen King or. We were talking about phobias last week, weren't we?
Middle-aged woman. I bet they regretted their choice of seat.
So which one's that? Is that when he's...
It wasn't even that scary, really. But
Well, I was trying to think if it was...
It was when he was going through. He'd got that big dog, hadn't he? And he was the only.
Right, the only guy left. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
He was one of the last few remaining, and he found this lady and her son.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was trying to develop a vaccine
Yes.
for it.
Yeah. They had to take them down and then chain them up, didn't they? And inject them and whatnot. Oh my God, it was a bag of nerves. It was ridiculous. I felt ever so sad for these lads, honestly. me. I went, no. Well, tell them we're 15. But you're not. Go on, just try. No, I can't. And that's what I was going to watch. And there's no way I'm sitting in there with you lot watching that.
How do they, because it's all sort of automatic now, isn't it? When you go to the cinema, there's not like a cashier or anything, is there, to go to? Or...
Oh, you still have to get your ticket from a human being.
Do you? Do you still get
You
it?
can do it online, but you still have to get it checked by a human
Yeah.
being.
So you
So that's when
So
they
if you're
say,
clearly
yeah.
like under 15, I'll be really.
Only 12 when you go to it. Right.
You're nearly 50. You're not even nearly 50.
You're 11.
Yes.
I haven't been to the cinema for ages. Oh yes. Yeah, it will no doubt be on Netflix before too long. Yes, we ought to be able to get it free, I think. Scribble to suggest, or if there's something you can't quite work out what it is, put a bit of foliage in front of it. I'm not quite sure what this is here. I think it's probably a plant or some sort. Yeah. So we don't want it too strong, we just want to, and it doesn't really matter if it goes over the buildings as well, because we're going to make them quite nice and colourful. So shall we again leave a little dry edge around it. Just looking to see I've not missed anywhere a shield, and doesn't really matter which blue, just add a few sort of little bits of blue. Let's leave some clouds. Nothing too strong, we don't want the background to dominate, so we'll just put a little bit of colour